'cause I never get enough of love. And it's a dangerous time for a heart on a wire, shuttle from station to station, noisily, not knowing why. So I put my head on the ground, and the sky is a wheel, spinning these days into things I have.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Welcome back to our stream. We're live again from Evansville, Indiana. We just wrapped up the President Trump Make America Great Again rally, and we just wrapped up dinner. So we're just coming back. We want to give a little synopsis of the day, talk to y'all about our experience, and we also have a couple winners we'd like to announce to you guys.
Yes, and I am still working on those names, copy and pasting some before I enter them into what we use to draw those 3 names for the contest. So sorry if I'm looking at my phone and finishing those names for you guys.
Yeah, we had a great night. The place was packed again. You know, President Trump, when he comes to town, the place fills up, and it was packed to the rafters. The Ford Center Arena, Evansville, Indiana. Of course, you know, this is kind of like a crossroads. We're right on the border of Indiana, Illinois, and Kentucky. So we met quite a few people from Illinois, quite a few from Kentucky, and of course Indiana. You know, they showed up at their hometown, and for the U.S. Senate candidate Mike Braun, who is a Republican nominee. So they showed up for President Trump and their candidates. So the red wave is alive and well here in Indiana. That's for sure.
It was absolutely alive and well. I've noticed a few different things in comparison to other rallies that I thought were different. As far, as the usual, I feel like the campaign is kind of stepping it up, like making sure it's more energetic and making sure everyone knows just how energetic it is. I think the first thing I noticed was that they came on stage and they were shooting out T-shirts and throwing out the actual Made in America Trump 45 hats. So that was really cool. People were getting really excited. That was like a pre-warm-up before the speakers came out. And another thing is that they added new songs. So that sounds silly, but President Trump or somebody is very particular about their music. So it is always the same music. It's almost never changed, except for in West Virginia. What was that song?
Country Roads.
Country Roads, yes. So they played that one when he came out, and that was unusual. But today they played, was it Katy Perry or Rihanna?
Rihanna. Please Don't Stop the Music.
Please Don't Stop the Music. And it literally was, no, they always play Backstreet Boys. But it was just like a concert. So it was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. They've done those changes. They are really emphasizing their merchandise, which I like. It's really cute. It's all made in America, which is cool. And they're also making sure that they've got screens set up for the overflow. So those are just 3 different ways where it's been changing, and I feel like it's just going to get bigger and better.
Yeah,
Bae?
definitely. This was my first rally, as you all know, so it was a really great experience. The energy, like we've all touched on, was just amazing. You know, people poured in continuously, so it was pretty cool. It didn't look like there was an empty seat. I was laughing because he had made a comment like, oh, the mainstream media was bashing me a few weeks ago because they said, oh, all these empty seats, and he said, yeah, maybe to go to the bathroom, but they came right back.
Yeah.
So he definitely brought the humor tonight. It was super rewarding and awesome to be there and just see the fact that, there is completely a red wave that the media just doesn't acknowledge. So I thought that was really awesome.
So great experience for your first rally. Welcome to the RSBN family, Bailee. So wonderful that everything went well. It was the dream rally for us. The production and the rally itself, and everything went well. And everybody else that works behind the scenes and works in media, they all said the same thing. It was a great experience. The arena, it seemed like it was a big, like a medium to large city arena in a small town. I mean, it was just a really nice place and a really nice city. the state of Indiana has a AAA rating for credit, so they are very business friendly in Indiana, and the governor came out and talked about that. And so Indiana, I mean, they really they have their stuff together. Let's put it that way. They know what they're doing here. The people are happy living here, and thank God, because there's a lot of states in the Midwest. I'm from the Midwest. There's a lot of states that are struggling, just trying to stay grounded, stay alive, and bring in businesses, bring in industries. But we've lost a lot in the Midwest, and President Trump talked about NAFTA. How he's renegotiating NAFTA. So he's already talked to Mexico. He's already had some talks with Canada, with the auto industry, and now they're going to sit back down to the table with Canada to renegotiate NAFTA. So it's a great thing for us, and it really is for the country. And then we met some coal workers too. We met some hard hats out there today in the summer heat. So that was pretty cool.
Definitely.
What was your favorite interview?
Oh,
Alyssa?
I think that's so hard.
Aw.
No, it's not. I had this one lady, Carol, who was sitting outside, and she was just very fun and loud. And I don't know if you remember her. She kind of got everyone pumped up, and she was just talking about her grandson, who is a huge President Trump supporter, and now he's studying abroad in England.
Oh.
And she was just telling about how he, put his flags and things up, and then people were giving him a hard time, kind of, but she was just so proud of him, and she really got the crowd riled up too. So that was cool to see. And also wanted to shout out over on YouTube, John Stutzman said, "Love you, RSBN. Thank you for interviewing me today. Sorry I couldn't stay." Thank you, John.
Thanks,
It was
John.
good interviewing you too.
I have an exciting announcement. So, the thing in Alyssa's lap, our pretty little banner that happens to have the American flag in the background with Trump's face over it and Make America Great Again. We've been talking about this all day. We are really proud of it just because it's not just, a banner. And yeah, we know that you can get the plain one on Amazon. This was donated to us, which is really sweet in itself from Front Row Joe's, but it's not, the item itself. It's what it stands for and what this item has seen, what it went through today. And we're really excited, so we promised that we would be giving it away to the highest donor. So, any guesses in the chat room? Y'all let me know what you think the highest donor was. I'm going to give it like 30 seconds, and I'll tell you who's right. So take a guess, because we have one person who's going to get it. And he didn't leave his address, so we don't know how he's going to get it. But take a guess what you think the highest donation was today. Let's see if anyone's even listening to me.
And also, John Smith gave a $2 donation. Thank you for that. He said, "I missed it. How many people were there?" I would say almost 11,000. Over 11,000, because there were people outside too.
Oh,
I just want to mention I'm wearing this top hat in honor of H. Brooke Page. So H. Brooke Page has now chosen an office to run for in Vermont. He's running for Secretary of State as a Republican. He filed to run for several offices there. So he withdrew from a number of offices, including he filed to run against Bernie Sanders. So, but now the Vermont Republican Party is going to nominate candidates, because there was a candidate on the ballot, and there's a open seat there. So the state the state Republican Party can replace him in those slots. So H. Brooke Page, keeping the Republican Party alive in Vermont, and that's what it's all about: reaching out to people, getting people energized. And President Trump did that today, that's for sure, in Indiana once again. Back again for a rally. So Indiana, and Vice President Pence, just a class act, the whole Pence family, and helping out with the, Trump administration. And Greg Pence is running for Congress here in Indiana. So we didn't hear from either of them today, but I'm sure maybe if we come back to Indiana, maybe most likely we will between now and November. So maybe we'll see some of the members of the Pence family too. So it was great.
thank you, Tom. So I'm going to name the people who are correct. Luai got it correct. Robin Ann, we know you were in the running too. I saw you a lot in there, so sorry, but your guess was correct. Token Quest was correct. Brian Daly was like way off. 23,000. I wish. Let's see. I guess that's it. So we had someone donate $1,000 on PayPal. So we're absolutely thrilled. Let me pull up his name. And that's a lot. Some of these guesses, a lot of the guesses were good. Some of them are pretty far out there. But this is a really special donation to us. We're really proud of it. And this just in... How... One second, y'all. So let me read the name out right now. And we are just rolling with it. So $1,000 donation. There's no address to send it to. It's just a flat out donation. So if your name is Dennis Hoshiko, you can have this beautiful flag.
Thank you,
We
Dennis.
would be thrilled to send it to you. You have 72 hours to send us your email with an address. 72 hours. So 3 days, we're going to put your name up. Please get in touch with us because we really want to do this. And then, is it correct that Robin is second place?
Mhm.
So, is it Robin Ann or Robin? So, Robin is in second place with 800, I believe.
Wow. Thank you so much, Robin.
Huge. So,
Yeah.
if he doesn't claim this because we don't have an address within 72 hours, we're going to be reaching out to you. Or you can just go ahead and reach out to us with your address and we'll get in touch with you if we are able to send it. So those are our two top donors today. We can't thank you enough. I mean, from the bottom of our hearts, this is huge. It's really going to help us get to the next rally in Montana, and these things are going to start picking up. We're not exactly sure how we're going to get to all of them, but we're going to do it, and it's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. And Robin, you can email us at feedback@rsbn.tv, and I will comment that email too, so you can email us your information. And if that first donor does not claim it in 3 days, it's yours. So also, we're going to take a second now and do the contest for those 3 light boxes. I have all the names in. Okay.
Did you see your sister?
So we're changing it up a little bit tonight. You do not have to be in the chat room tonight to win the light boxes. So we are going to draw your name, and then we're going to post them on the RSBN website right after this, and you will have 3 days to claim your prize as well. So, drum roll, anyone? Thank you. First one is Frank Shashadi. Frank Shashadi. I am going to take a second and type your name to send it to Joe.
Well, she's doing that. Max is not fired. He was behind the scenes all day today working hard. And Tara is doing real estate. Still really good friends with her. We loved her. She just had a different career path. And Maggie will be back next week in Billings, Montana. So we're all happy family here. No one's getting fired. We're just going with the flow, y'all.
Okay. And second name, Zayad Al-Salami, who also gave a lot today.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was like, he had donated $500 to the, I guess his name was in there quite a bit.
Mhm.
That's exciting, so congratulations too.
Yes. And putting his name down real quick. And last one, Dirt Doctor. Congratulations,
Dirt Doctor.
Doctor.
I remember hearing that name earlier today, and I remember thinking like, what's a dirt doctor? Then I was thinking, well, maybe he does soil. Like, he tests soil to find out what the best place is to do farming, because that's a thing.
Yeah, I think he's actually in Canada. He's in the chat room a lot.
Talk to me about your name. It's creative. I like it. We could use some people messing with our soil, which is actually, like, really expensive to pay someone to come out and test your soil. Fun fact.
Good to know.
Farming's expensive.
Yep.
For some reason, when I think of dirt doctor, I think of a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one,
that
too.
makes sense.
Oh, it's like Dirt Devil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll fold this up and get it ready for our winners.
Hold on a minute, everybody. We ain't going nowhere. We're trying to get our stream back. We're using hotel Wi-Fi. Stand by. We'll complete this in just a minute. If you are one of the winners, your name will be posted at rsbnetwork.com. At the conclusion of this broadcast, you'll have 72 hours to email us to claim your prize. And then, if you don't claim it, you don't win it. And we'll do it again next week. Waiting on them. Waiting on them. Almost back. So we'll be in, this is going to be super crazy next week. We're going to be all over the place, Montana next week. Margaret Howell will be there. Tom O'Neill will be there. James Willis will be there, but he's flying in the very last minute. Actually, the morning of the rally. And it's going to be crazy. So stay tuned in here. We're back.
We're back. Hi.
Hey guys, we are back. Thank you for waiting. Sorry we had a technical difficulty there, but Bailee was going to get into some notes from today.
Yeah, so just a few highlights from the rally. So the president opened with praising the economy and the recent economic boom that we've seen. He talked a lot about protecting American industry, advocated for American wages for American laborers. He also touched on the former NAFTA deal. He's actually planning on renaming that right now. Technically, it's a bilateral trade deal with Mexico that has not been signed or sent to Congress yet, but negotiations are complete. They're currently underway with Canada at the White House. But at the moment, I don't know that they've reached any significant headway on that. He did mention that they'll put tariffs on the auto industry if things don't turn around. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. He also mentioned that our dairy products being exported into Canada are subject to a 300% tariff. So that's obviously pretty significant. He went on to reiterate his support for Mike Braun, the current GOP nominee for the U.S. Senate here in Indiana. He highlighted that he's a successful businessman, and then he also mentioned his opponent and the current incumbent, Joe Donnelly. He talked about how he voted yes to Obamacare. He voted against the refugee vetting system and also yes to amnesty. And he also supported the Iran deal, which was never actually, I think this is interesting. So I studied a lot of this kind of stuff in school, and what I didn't know is it actually was never a treaty because it wasn't ratified. So it was signed by former President Obama, and there was really no weight to it. So he had mentioned that. Moving on, switching gears a little bit to the Supreme Court. So our Supreme Court nominee, Brett Kavanaugh, He's expected to undergo his confirmation hearings, I believe September 7th, the 6th or the 7th. I think it's the 7th. And I hear that I've read reports that he's been doing like practice hearings for that so far. So that's also going on. He also talked about the media, and he blasted the mainstream media. And then he also mentioned the Justice Department, which I was kind of waiting for some more dialogue there because of the recent rift between him and Attorney General Jeff Sessions. So that'll be interesting to see. There's been some reports that suggest that he may or may not be firing him after midterms, and he may be waiting to do that. So that definitely, there's been some feuding there, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And then he also talked about how he supports our military and our vets, and he's created 4 million jobs since the election. So some pretty astounding accomplishments,
Wow.
I would say. So
Absolutely.
Definitely. Also wanted to shout out, we got a $4.99 donation from Tree Climbing, who says Tom for wearing the top hat.
Oh, precious.
Thank you. Thanks. We had a lot of fun today out there. We ate tonight at a Korean restaurant, and they were very gracious to us. They gave us a free dessert, and just wonderful people. We just met some great people today. The lines were winding through the streets, and it was great. And the weather was nice, so people showed up. It was warm, but it wasn't it wasn't overwhelmingly hot, but it was warm. And the people showed up, and it was great. We met some great people. They're fighting with President Trump. They show up and they're fighting with President Trump, and it was kind of like a thank you. They're thanking President Trump, thanking the people thanking him. So it was pretty cool to see, and it was just a great day.
Yeah, it's a beautiful downtown too. There's like cobblestone streets, and everything's just really nice, and some businesses that have been there for a long time. Yesterday we got to have lunch at Lick's Deli and Ice Cream Parlor, and that was a really sweet, cute place. And wanted to go through a couple more things the president said. He also talked about, he said, we cannot tolerate political censoring, rigged search results, and blacklisting. And I know you guys have seen this a lot in the news lately. He tweeted it just a few days ago about how Google is putting those negative stories about him at the very top of the search results. And he also talked about how we are rebuilding our military stronger than ever before. And now Mike Braun, who's running for Senate, he didn't talk for too long, but when he did, he said, I'm going to give President Trump an ally he can count on every single day, because that is just so needed in the Senate.
So we got a question too, were there any protesters out in the streets? This was interesting because we were expecting like some protesters there, but there was a very small group of them from what I saw. So they were there, but honestly, things were very respectful. I thought that everything was fairly cordial for the most part. There wasn't, from what I saw, I don't know, do you have anything
No,
to
I was
add to
laughing
that?
at something else. Sorry.
Okay. And it was funny because when we were in the rally, someone had shouted something and I didn't see what it was, but the president had made a point to say, one person yelled, so all the headlines tomorrow are going to say, all these demonstrations erupted at the rally, and yeah, not true. There was a couple protesters and everything seemed fairly cordial from what you hear, online. So. Well,
and the protesters, they weren't we weren't able to see them. They were kept away maybe a block and a half or 2 blocks away from the arena, and they were going the opposite direction of the line. So the line was zigzagging one way, and I think the protesters were, zigzag the other way. So I'm not sure that we actually were able to see the protesters at all. I didn't hear any, but I'm sure if there were any there, the local news in this area will, or the national news will show them, and they'll be all over the national news, the mainstream media. So It'd be interesting to see. We didn't see or hear any protesters. There was one at the rally. Like Bailee
There was
saying.
one woman in a Handmaid's Tale outfit. So does anyone?
her outside.
Can someone explain that to me? I mean, I've seen the show. Like, I've seen 1 or 2 clips, and I know that it's pretty messed up. But why is that symbolic against Trump? It's not
I think
the first
because
time.
they think he's monopolizing power would be my guess. I don't really know because I've seen that show. I've seen clips of it too.
They basically sterilize everyone, and then they have like
It's kind of like the book The Giver.
Yeah,
If you read The Giver,
yeah.
it's essentially like they turn society into this like utopian
Yeah.
machine, if you will. So
it's
I
just
would
pretty far fetched.
very, very
Quite a stretch.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Also, thank you, Randall. We got another $10 donation.
Like Randall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Randall Tom. He said, a great day in
Randall
America.
Tom.
Randall Tom is in the lobby of our
Yeah.
hotel right now, so we
He
had
said-
to leave him downstairs.
He said, a great day in America. My friends, we bleed. Red, white, and blue. Bailee, you're an awesome addition to the crew. God bless you all. I love you all.
But do you love Bailee enough to name a dog after her?
I hope so.
I have a puppy named after me.
Well, Randall Tom was firing up the crowd.
Tom, did you know you have a puppy named after you? No, you do, and it's so
No, you
cute.
Does that mean I have to buy it some dog food?
You probably. But it's
Yeah,
it's a
probably.
newborn Alaskan Malamute, and it's the
Oh,
cutest.
wow.
You're cuter than me.
Wow.
I'm all white. You have like
I don't
you
know if
have
that's
the
possible, Liz.
you have the husky eyes. You're really cute. It's on Twitter. There's an Alyssa too. She looks just like me.
Well, I feel this sense of responsibility.
I know. I have a responsibility to buy the dog. Like I'm like fighting against myself every day. I want it. I just don't know if I need 4 dogs.
Well, Randall Tom's just such a great friend to RSBN.
Yeah.
You can find him on Twitter.
Twiddle.
Twiddle.
Whittle.
We're going to bed soon.
I'm slurring my words here, but Randall Tom, his last name's THOM. So look up Randall Tom on Twitter and
One
like
L.
his page, and but he's a great guy. He was firing up the crowd before the rally, trying to get them to do the wave, and they were, the arena wasn't quite full yet, but he was out there, giving his all, and just a great friend to RSBN, and thank you for your service, Randall Tom, a Marine, and always good to see you. Always good to see you, and we're always crossing paths, and it's so it feels good just to see people that have such support. It really helps a lot, and whether you're in the chat or you're actually at the rally, we always say to come up to us and say hello, even if you don't want an interview. Just say hello because it means a lot to us. So thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate it.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well said.
Does anyone that we know this was a short stream. It's been a really long day, an amazing day. Can't emphasize that enough. This has been a really great day for RSBN. We want to thank everybody for donating. We hit our goal. We're thrilled about that. It's kind of hit or miss. You never know. We can have the best equipment in the world, but if the cell tower is not there, or if there's nothing, I'll give it back. If there's nothing to band these, cell signals together from, there's nothing alive you can do to fix that. We can't create the signal. So that's kind of out of our power. Sometimes buildings and the structural design, whether it be cement walls or steel, they're specifically designed sometimes to block cell towers. So, if it's in a high school, that's going to be a really big issue because they don't want kids on their phones. So there's external factors we're always working with, but today was just a good day, a great arena, great Wi-Fi provided by the venue. The live view was doing all right. Our team was amazing. Call them my ducklings because they're my babies just because I'm old. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you, cameraman, for everything. And of
Great
course,
job.
Joe, our leader. He's the man behind it all. Just doing everything you've done. Thank you, Max. The moderators, Mod Mom, your hands full today. I saw a troll in there at one point. I don't know what they were saying, but I think Bailee or Alyssa showed it to me. There was just 17 or 20 message deleted, message deleted, message deleted. I don't know what was being said, but somebody didn't like it.
Oh.
So thanks. Any thanks from you guys?
Yeah, thank
thoughts?
you everyone for making me feel so welcome. I
Mhm.
really have had such a great time so far, so I really appreciate that. It's meant a lot, and I had a great day, so thank you again.
Good. Well, thank you for
Bailee.
being here.
And she's
So
contemplating
appreciate
coming
it.
back, so we're excited about that.
Yes, guys, thank you so much. All that donated, all that supported us, and wanted to shout out our YouTube moderators once again, and also those website moderators, Common Sense, Glenn O, and Racope. Thank you guys so much for all that you do for us. Really appreciate you, and you're such a huge part of our family.
And congrats to our winners.
Yes. We hope you enjoy the gifts and think of us often.
We're going to go out on a picture of the flag. So, God bless you. God bless America. Should I go out with a Trump? It's like, together we will make Indiana great again. Together we will make stuff great
Safe
again.
again.
Safe
Safe
again.
Together we
Together
will
we'll
make
make
again.
America
America strong again.
strong again. Make America great
Make
again.
America great again.
That's right.
But you could keep all of the years. But I don't mind the days gone rolling away. So now the sunlight feels so warm on my face today. But what brings me down now is love. Because I never get enough. I never get enough. No, no.